Alright everyone, we're going to be building an HDSLR shoulder rig built around a monopod, and it's going to have a follow focus built into the left handle. So these are the handles that we're going to be using, old bike grips. So these are all parts we found laying around my dad's shop. I'll credit to him with the welding and cutting. So we are welding a pipe to a flat piece of metal so that we can attach it to the crossbar, and this is going to be a riveted to it, and this is going to be the right handle, and it's going to be stationary, so it's not going to move. The other one will have a little bit more trickery to it with how we will get it to swivel. Alright, so now that the handle's attached, we bent this really long bolt, cut the end off, and now we're putting a little heat sealer on there so that it holds the monopod a little bit nicer and looks a little bit nicer. We're going to be drilling 2 holes in this base plate so that that U-bolt can go around the monopod and attach to the cross plate, whatever you want to call it. Just like this. And those are lock nuts, just in case you were wondering, so that they hold. It's really nice because you can just pop those 2 bolts off and you're back to having a monopod, or put them on and you're back to having a steady cam. So it works out pretty nice. Alright, so what you're seeing after this now is we are taking the same pipe and welding a washer to the end of it. Now, we actually had to break this weld and redo this because we had to weld a bolt with the head inside sticking out so that we could make the follow focus later. So we actually had to pull this apart. We discovered that Hairspray Works is a great lubricant, so you could slip the handles on a little bit easier. So what you're seeing here is half the rig built. We took 2, I forgot what these things are called, but we took, I think they're pipe cinches or whatever, put them around the lens so that we could get enough space, and see, you can see the bolt sticking out through there so that we could bolt it onto the cross plate. So we put washer on that side, and then a bolt so that it could swivel, and then we could control the amount of resistance so that it would just go flying. We also bent this metal plate that we found so that we could make the follow focus. So we were pretty lucky to have all these random scraps laying around, but I'm sure you can be pretty resourceful too. Head over to Ace or Home Depot or something like that and find it. The follow focus, as you'll see later, oh, there you go, it's turning. We'll use a metal hanger that will cut to bridge the gap between the lens and the handle. We cut apart an old utility belt and we had to melt through it and then rivet it so that this piece of fabric could be used to put the monopod end through so that we have a shoulder support. So that is bent around my shoulder. We just slipped a metal plate in there, and this was probably one of the roughest parts we had to try and get done. So as I said, here's the follow focus. That's the hanger that we had to kind of bend. This was a pretty hard weld to make, but here's the final rig. There's the hanger that we had to bridge the gap. Here's how the follow focus works, and yeah, so it works pretty well, pretty smooth, and I like it. We painted the whole thing matte black at the end, gives it kind of a nice professional done look. Sorry for my videography, it's all on my iPhone, so it was a little bit rough, but so there's a little bit of play in it, but it works pretty well. So if you don't know how to weld, you're gonna have to find someone, or you're gonna have to jerry rig it and try and figure out a way to do it. So this is just kind of my camera setup. I have a $50 hood eye, a $10 tripod, old utility belt, some old bike handles. So yeah, it works pretty well, pretty stable, and I like it. So hopefully this helps.